Hi, I'm Steffany Strange. Want to hear something scary? Demon Box. Family tradition is something that typically brings everyone together. But in some families, tradition is there just to keep everyone alive. Most of my friends grew up in religious households, practicing a form of religion. But whenever they asked me which faith I belonged to, I couldn't tell them. My parents never went to a church or a synagogue, and my grandparents never spoke of prayer or worship. But that didn't stop me in trying to find out why. One weekend at my grandparents', I had asked them if they knew what faith we practiced. Were we Protestant? Catholic? I reiterated that a century ago, everyone had a religion. And I had asked this many, many times before. My grandpa rolled his eyes, but my grandma had enough. She went into her locked armoire where she kept her good china. She moved the central display plate, revealing a small door with a lock at the back. And she took a key from her necklace that I had never seen before and opened up a compartment, pulling out a small carved box. She turned and sat it in front of me. The detailing in the wood was ornate, with a pentacle carved into its top that gave me an eerie feeling. When Graham opened up the box, I was stunned by what was inside. It was horrific. Multiple human teeth, a token of human hair, an old gauze-like cloth stained with one drop of blood, and tiny scrolls of recipes. The smell was horrendous, and I started to gag. My grandfather stepped forward and snapped the box shut. He was clearly upset with my gram for showing me. They began to argue in a language I've never heard them use before. He grabbed the box and the key and put it back in its spot and locked it up. He reassured me our family no longer practices that religion, and they kept the box as a reminder of all the damage it had caused. He said that the trinkets kept us all safe, and that was the end of the discussion. When I tried to ask a question, I was shut down and told not to bring it up again. The whole thing shook me up. Now, luckily for me, when in doubt, you ask the internet. I went home and spent the next few days Googling everything. The same thing kept popping up. Paganism and the pentacle were a sign of protection. Present-day pagans also have a ton of forums and subreddits. Everything seemed harmless until I began chatting with someone called Neo-Occult 5. When I told them what I had seen in the box, they replied, not only was it old school, but it should have only be open in front of someone who was deliberately Wiccan, meaning they had essentially been baptized into the sect, which clearly I had not. They began to pray for me and my safety. I asked what could happen, and they said whoever's remains was in the box were now allowed to imprint their spirit upon me to connect to this world. The ritual went back to the 1500s, so perhaps my gram didn't know the danger, but based on my grandpa's reaction, he did. I left the chat and ran to my grandparents' house. I opened the door to find them sitting on the den floor, chanting. The box opened in front of them. They were in a trance. And behind the box sat a creature, seemingly human, but bone-thin with papery gray skin. It opened its eyes and saw me, and their chanting suddenly stopped. This was a creature whose remains I saw in the box, who, according to Neo-Occult 5, was now imprinted on me. It lifted its hand and pointed at me, freezing my whole body. I began to float towards it, unable to resist its pull. My grandparents' eyes were rolled back, and all I could see were the whites in their eyes. I was now inches away from this face of this golem-like creature. He grabbed my face and pulled me towards him, opening his maw and breathing into me. Its spirit began to travel from its mouth and into mine. I couldn't do anything. I was paralyzed and helpless. Then, out of nowhere, my grandfather shot up and grabbed the creature away from me. This in turn snapped my gram out of her trance as well. Together, they held its body down and began to chant over and over. Eventually, the creature disappeared, leaving behind only the skeletal remnants I had previously seen. They threw everything in the box, closed it, nailed it shut, and locked it away for safety. They told me they couldn't destroy the creature, but only keep it hidden away. Now it was passed down to me to ensure no one else would open it. And after that day, I understood why. Now, when someone asks me if I have a religion, I say confidently that I do, but we no longer practice it for everyone's safety. Hey everybody, it's Steffany Strange from Something Scary. Sometimes we get so busy taking care of everyone around us that we forget to take care of ourselves. I know that sometimes I get busy making my videos and running around and visiting family that I never stop to ask myself, how am I feeling? It's often hard to remember to show up for ourselves. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's the perfect time to find one thing you can do to prioritize your own mental well-being. A licensed Talkspace therapist can help you identify what kind of things you can work on to make space for yourself. Whether it's setting stronger boundaries, letting something go, or gaining the courage to try something different. For everyone who is looking to get started with therapy, I recommend Talkspace because they make it really easy to match with a licensed therapist and schedule a session. Talkspace therapists are available to speak anytime you need, and you can also get unlimited messages with your dedicated therapist. So no matter where you are in your mental health journey, talking to a therapist who is trained to help makes a huge difference. So consider this your permission slip to put your mental health first. Match with your dedicated therapist today at Talkspace.com and use the promo code SCARY during the sign up to get $100 off your first month. That's $100 off at Talkspace.com, promo code SCARY. If you would like to submit a story, send me an email at SomethingScary@Snarled.com. Like and share this video if it gave you the chills. And don't forget to subscribe to Snarled and turn on the bell for notifications. And if you dare, follow me on social media. Until next time, sweet dreams.